Okay, students. So this is our chapter number third, the Sultans of Delhi. Okay, so what are the learning objectives? That is why we are studying this chapter, or why we are going to study this chapter. So first learning objective of this chapter is to understand the development of political institutions. Okay, how the different political institutions have developed during this time period. Okay, various types of offices have come into existence, various types of taxes. Okay, second objective is to learn about the sultanate's military strategies and resource mobilization. Okay, so what was their military strategies? Were they offensive or they were defensive? Okay, what type of military they used to have? Okay, because in previous chapters we have studied that the feuds or the feudal lords were having the soldiers who in time of war provide their soldiers to the kings. Now what have changed in this during this particular period? Resource mobilization, that how they used to mobilize the different resources for the development of the society, their kingdom, to carry out a study of the Tughlaqs. So we will also study about the Tughlaq. So let's see. So Muhammad Ghori, the ruler of the Gaur kingdom, wanted to extend his territory right up to North India. In his quest to conquer North India, he came into conflict with Prithvi Raj Chauhan. In 1191, Prithvi Raj Chauhan defeated Gauri in the first battle of Train. So students, this Battle of Train is a very important battle in the history of India. Okay, this will change the course of history of India. यहाँ से जो हिस्ट्री का कोर्स है पूरा का पूरा जो है रास्ता है, वो पैटर्न ही हिस्ट्री का पूरा चेंज हो जाएगा। किसके लिए? इंडिया के लिए। ठीक है, क्योंकि अब तक जो हमारे रूलर्स थे वो कौन थे? खास करके हिंदू रूलर्स ही यहाँ पर रूल कर रहे थे। पृथ्वीराज चौहान के साथ जो लड़ाई होगी 1191 में, ये पृथ्वीराज चौहान एंड मोहम्मद गौरी, तो इनके बीच में जो लड़ाई हुई, दो लड़ाइयाँ होंगी इनके बीच में, वन इन 1191 एंड the other second battle of Thrain in the very next year. Okay, in first battle, Prithviraj Chauhan defeated the Gauri. So Gauri was a ruler of Gaur kingdom. Okay, so in the second battle, Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated and killed by the Muhammad Gauri. So now, with the defeat of Muhammad Gauri, the Muslim invaders entered India and started their rule in some parts of India, especially in the northern parts. Okay. The second battle of Train is regarded as one of the turning points in the Indian history. So you can also, students, take part in the discussion. Imagine you are one of the ministers in Prithviraj Chauhan's council. What would you suggest to Chauhan's son after the defeat? Why would you give such an advice? Okay, so you can think, you can write your answers in the chat box also. I will read that, or you can note it down in your notebooks also. So आप मान के चलो कि आप जिस समय सेकंड बैटल ऑफ त्राइन लड़ी जा रही थी, ठीक है, पृथ्वीराज चौहान एंड बिटवीन मोहम्मद गौरी, तो उस समय मान लो कि आप भी जो पृथ्वीराज चौहान की काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स होती है उसके एक मेंबर हो। अब जो पृथ्वीराज चौहान की डिफीट के बाद, बिकॉज ये जो है मोनार्कीज है, ठीक है, किंगडम्स है। मोनार्कीज में क्या होता है कि एक जब किंग या रूलर की डेथ हो जाती है तो उसका जो आगे हायर होता है वो कौन होता है, उसका बेटा। ठीक है, सो इसलिए उन्होंने यहाँ पर लिखा है कि अब उसका बेटा नया नया राजा बना है तो उसको आप क्या एडवाइस करोगे। सो यू कैन थिंक अबाउट इट एंड राइट इन द चैट बॉक्स। एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ द दिल्ली सल्तनत, इसको हम हिंदी में बोलेंगे सल्तनत। This victory led to the foundation of the Delhi Sultanate, which ruled the country from 1206 to 1526. Okay, so these are more than 300 years. This period saw the rule of five powerful dynasties. They were the slave dynasty. Slave का मतलब होता है गुलाम। वो गुलाम डायनेस्टी इनको क्यों बोला जाता है, आप आगे जब हम इसके बारे में स्टडी करेंगे तब आपको पता चलेगा। गुलाम इसलिए बोला जाता है इसको क्योंकि जो पहला जो रूलर है वो किसी अपने प्रीवियस रूलर का गुलाम रह चुका होता है, इसीलिए इसको गुलाम डायनेस्टी बोलते हैं। द तुगलक्स, द सैयद्स एंड द लोधीज, so these were the five powerful dynasties who ruled Delhi Sultanate during this period. So everyone, you have to mute yourselves, only unmute when you want to ask some question, okay? Otherwise keep yourselves mute. Now this period paved the way for the new cultural amalgamation of the Hindu and Muslim culture. ये जो पीरियड था 300 years का, ठीक है, इसने एक किस चीज के लिए रास्ता बना दिया, हिंदू मुस्लिम कल्चर के मिक्सचर के लिए मिलने का। अमलगमेशन का मतलब होता है स्टूडेंट्स किसी चीज का मिक्स हो जाना, तो हिंदू मुस्लिम कल्चर आपस में ये क्या कर गए, इसमें हमने बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो है मुस्लिम कल्चर से, जो मुस्लिम इन्वेडर यहाँ जिन्होंने रूल किया, ठीक है, तो उन्होंने बहुत सारी चीज़ें हमें सिखाई। फॉर एग्जाम्पल देयर आर्किटेक्चर स्टाइल, देयर स्टाइल ऑफ कुकिंग, ओके, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, देयर ड्रेस, देयर आर्ट एंड कल्चर, ओके। इसी तरह उन्होंने हमसे बहुत सारी चीज़ें सीखी और इन दोनों के मिक्सचर मिक्सचर से एक नए तरह का जो हमारा इंडियन कल्चर है वो हमें उसमें नए नया कुछ देखने को मिला और हमारा कल्चर और ज़्यादा क्या हो गया, इससे रिच हो गया। ओके, सो न्यू स्टूडेंट्स आर गेटिंग एंटर्ड एंड लेट्स एंटर देम। So you can wait for a while. Okay. This led to the emergence of a composite culture which was reflected in all aspects of life, for example, language, art, architecture, food, and dress. Okay, since they were having their distinct culture, okay, so they came from the other countries, so they were having their own unique type of food, their dress, so according to the climatic conditions they were living in. Okay, now after coming here they modified themselves, they modified their each habit. Now first dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate was slave dynasty. They ruled from 1206 to 1290. Okay, so approximately this is more than 80 years. Okay, so when Muhammad Ghori died in 1206, his most trusted slave, so you can see his most trusted slave, Qutbuddin Aibak, became the chief of his territories in India. Aibak is considered to be the founder of the Mamluk dynasty. Mamluk जो word है इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है, इसका मीनिंग होता है स्लेव। ओके, सो द टर्म ममलूक मीन्स स्लेव और ओन्ड, therefore this dynasty is also known as the slave dynasty or the ममलूक dynasty. सो जब मोहम्मद गौरी की यहाँ पर क्या हो जाती है, डेथ हो जाती है 1206 में, सो उसका सबसे ज़्यादा ट्रस्टेड स्लेव होता है वो उसकी इंडियन टेरिटरीज के ऊपर जो रूल करना स्टार्ट कर देता है, और इसी वजह से जो उसके आगे आने वाली जो किंग्स हैं उनको फिर एक डायनेस्टी बोला गया, स्लेव डायनेस्टी का नाम दे दिया गया. ओके. Now, when Qutbuddin Aibak became the ruler, he realized that the new kingdom was vulnerable both to internal and external threats. जैसे ही वो राजा बनता है तो उसको देखने को मिलता है कि उसके सामने बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस हैं, खतरे हैं. ये ना केवल इंटरनल थ्रेट्स हैं, they were also the external threats. Now, what are external threats? External threats means threats from the outsiders, invaders. दूसरे राज्यों से, दूसरी कंट्री से खतरा. Internal threats, what type of internal threats he can have? Threats from his own administration, threats from his own people, from his own nobles. जो उसके खास लोग हैं उन्हीं से जो थ्रेट है, that they can revolt at any time, since he was a slave and now have started ruling. Okay. So he used matrimonial alliances to strengthen his position. तो अपनी पोजीशन को स्ट्रेंथन करने के लिए उसने क्या किया, एक उसने जो ट्रिक फॉलो की वो थी मैट्रिमोनियल अलायंसेस. आप आगे जाके देखोगे कोई सेम ट्रिक जो है बाद में अकबर भी फॉलो करता है ना. मैट्रिमोनियल मीन शादी, मैरिज. सो जो अपने उसके जैसे फॉरेन से आया कोई बंदा यहाँ पर रूल कर रहा है, तो यहाँ पर ऑलरेडी जो आसपास के जो किंगडम्स हैं वो कौन है, हिंदू, ये मुस्लिम है. सो इसको सबसे ज़्यादा थ्रेट को किससे होगा, जो आसपास वाले लोग हैं. तो उसको थ्रेट को कम करने का एक क्या हो सकता है, जहाँ तो फ्रेंडशिप कर ली जाए या फिर रिलेशनशिप बना ली जाए, है ना. तो ये डिसाइड करता है कि मुझे इनके साथ मैट्रिमोनियल अलायंसेस जो है वो कर लेने चाहिए. दैट्स वाई ही मेड द मैट्रिमोनियल अलायंसेस विद द neighboring countries or the neighboring princely states or the kingdoms. He married the daughter of Yaldoz, the governor of Iran, and had his daughter married to Iltutmish, one of his most trusted slaves. अब यहाँ पर देखो वो क्या करता है, इल्तुतमिश उसका क्या है, स्लेव है. आगे जाके इल्तुतमिश क्या बन जाएगा, किंग बन जाएगा. इसलिए इस डायनेस्टी को बोला जाता है स्लेव डायनेस्टी. One of his most trusted slaves and also the successor to his throne. Now what is throne? Throne होता है बेटा राजगद्दी. Okay, the seat of the ruler is called a throne. Abbak was known for his generosity and kind-heartedness, so he was given the name Lakh Baksh, that means giver of lakhs. He built two mosques, the Quwwatul Islam in Delhi and अढ़ाई दिन का झोपड़ा. अढ़ाई दिन मीन 2.5 in Ajmer. He even started the construction of Qutub Minar but could not complete it. So आपने देखा कि वो उसने एक दो बिल्डिंग्स, दो मॉस्क बनाई. Then he also started the construction of Qutub Minar which is in Delhi, but उसको complete नहीं कर सका. Aibak did not add to the Turkish conquest in India and died in 1210 when he fell off a horse while playing polo. So ये क्या है कि 1210 में इसकी डेथ हो जाती है. कैसे होती है इसकी डेथ, कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक की डेथ होती है हॉर्स से गिरने पर. हॉर्स से गिरने पर क्यों होती है, क्योंकि ये एक गेम, उस समय गेम खेली जाती थी पोलो. हॉर्स राइडिंग करते हुए एक हॉकी जैसा ही खेल होता है, आप बोल सकते हो हॉकी होती है, लेकिन बस ये है कि उसमें हॉकी के खेलने का तरीका क्या है कि हॉर्स राइडिंग करते हुए उसको खेलना है. ओके. सो यहाँ तक कोई किसी को डाउट हो, देन ही कैन ask. You can also write in the chat box if you have any doubt regarding this. So next, Iltutamish, that is from 1210 to 1236. So after the death of Qutbuddin Aibak, his trusted slave Shamsuddin Iltutmish became the king. Shamsuddin Iltutmish was the son-in-law of Aibak. He is regarded as the real founder of the Delhi Sultanate. He shifted the seat of governance from Lahore to Delhi. Thus, Delhi came to occupy the premier position as the capital of Hindustan. Iltutmish had to deal with many rebellions, but he was successful in defeating the rebels and executed most of them. सो उसके बनते ही उसके राजा बनते ही बहुत सारे जो रेबलियंस हैं उन्होंने उसके खिलाफ वो खड़े हो गए बट ही डिफीटेड ऑल ऑफ देम एंड most of them he executed most of them. He consolidated the Delhi Sultanate by extending his control up to the Indus and the whole of Multan and Sindh. Towards the east, he extended his control over Lakhnauti, that is Bengal and Bihar at that time. He brought under his control the Rajput territories of Bayana, Ajmer, and Sambhar. Iltutmish created an entire new class of ruling elite which was called the Chalisa or the group of 40. The death of Iltutmish was followed by political instability in Delhi which saw acute struggle among the nobles. So Delhi Sultanate का जो real founder है वो हम मानते हैं इल्तुतमिश को. Okay, so Iltutmish shifted his capital from Lahore to Delhi. Then he also formed a group to advise the ruler. Actually, in actual sense, they were ruling the Delhi Sultanate. So this group was known as Chalisa since there were 40 members in this group. So 40 in Hindi means Chalis. So that's why this group was called as Chalisa. Now Razia Sultana. Iltutmish had nominated his daughter Razia to succeed him. However, he was succeeded by his son Ruknuddin Firoz. His incompetence and unpopularity gave his sister Razia an opportunity to claim the throne. But Razia did not enjoy the sport. So Iltutmish के मरने के बाद उसकी डेथ के बाद रजिया सुल्ताना सक्सीड करती है थोड़े टाइम के लिए रुकनुद्दीन जो उसका बेटा होता है वो करता है बट ही वाज नॉट कैपेबल एनफ टू रूल. That's why Razia Sultana became the first female ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. But all the nobles were against Razia Sultan. Why? Because she was a woman. So they did not like the idea to work under a female at that time. Okay, so it was a stereotype you can say that was prevalent at that time that men does not like to work under a woman at that time. So Razia put on the tunic and headdress of a man's attire for day-to-day administration. She even abandoned the wheel. She appointed a non-Turkish and Abyssinian slave, Malik Yakut, as the superintendent of the stables. This enraged the Turkish nobles. There was rebellion in Delhi and elsewhere in the kingdom. The Chalisa conspired and killed her in 1240. So in this way you can see that Chalisa जो था, the group which was responsible to advise the ruler regarding administration and day-to-day work. So they launched a conspiracy against the this women ruler that is Razia Sultana and killed her in 1240. So in this way, Razia Sultana only ruled for just 4 years. Then Nasiruddin Mahmud. Nasiruddin Mahmud was just the figurehead king. The real power was wielded by his chief minister Ghyasuddin Balban. On the death of Nasiruddin Muhammad Mahmud, Balban became the king. सो रजिया सुल्ताना की डेथ के बाद नसीरुद्दीन महमूद ऑक्यूपाई करते हैं थ्रोन को बट ही वाज आल्सो अ वेरी वीक रूलर. देन After his death, Ghiyasuddin Balban became the ruler. Balban's ascendancy to the throne marked the beginning of an era which was characterized by centralized governance. He adopted the Iranian theory of kingship. According to this theory, so Iranian theory of kingship उसने अपनाई. उसके हिसाब से जो किंग को रिप्रेजेंटेटिव माना जाता है गॉड का. ओके, सो दिस इज द duty of all the subjects, that means people to abide by the instructions of the ruler. He introduced the Persian custom of sajda and pivos. So these two are the customs, Persian customs, sajda and pivos. तो ये उसने इंट्रोड्यूस किया. सजदा क्या होता है? जैसे हम आपने मूवीज में वगैरह में देखा होगा, टचिंग द ग्राउंड विद फोरहेड, माथा टेकना हम जिसको बोल देते हैं उसको सजदा बोलते हैं. पाइबोस मीन्स किसिंग द मोनार्क्स फीट. So these were two Persian customs that was prevalent in that society. He introduced it in the Balban introduced in Delhi Sultanate. He followed a policy of blood and iron and crushed any rebellion with heavy hands. He kept the nobility under his strict control and created a strong spy system to keep them in check. So students, यहाँ तक किसी को कोई किसी तरह की डाउट है, you can ask. So बलबन ने जो पॉलिसी अपनाई उसको बोलते हैं आयरन, ब्लड एंड आयरन. ब्लड एंड आयरन का मतलब होता है कि जो भी कोई रेबलियन है उसको अपनी पावर से उसको स्टॉप करना, कुचलना या एग्जीक्यूट कर देना. ठीक है, तो इसने एक वेल डेवलप्ड स्पाई सिस्टम भी बनाया जिसकी वजह से इसको पता चल जाता था कौन क्या कर रहा है, कौन किंग के खिलाफ काम कर रहा है. ओके, सो वी विल कंटिन्यू विद दिस टॉपिक tomorrow also. So anyone having any doubt regarding this can ask.